What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to Tower Defense Tuesday. This week we are taking a look at an up-and-coming tower defense titled Defense Task Force. Now this is an alpha build and still early, and the game is not scheduled to release until July 2018. So this is definitely not a finished product and just where they're at so far in the alpha stage. Now, Defense Task Force has one glaring, wonderful thing about it, and that is it is tower defense. It's not a game pretending to be tower defense, it is straight up tower defense. It's been a long time since I got the defense grid feels for any tower defense game, and this one started to give it to me for certain. Now, as I mentioned, it's still an alpha stage. We'll see what is to come. However, I absolutely loved a whole lot of aspects about this game. Now, first off, before we go any further, let's go ahead and take a look at the cinematic. It is a lengthy one. Trim that stuff up there, Chill-X. However, here we go.
As our cities grew bigger, so did our need for energy. From fossil fuels to nuclear, we harvested it all. We always knew the day would come when we would run out. We just never realized how soon that would be. Greed, mismanagement, waste, corruption. The end result was inevitable. It was only a matter of time until we depleted our energy resources. With nowhere to turn to and no one to save us, our once great civilization began to collapse. The energy wars, brutal as they were, was only the beginning. There simply wasn't enough energy to power the technology we had come to depend on. Some say the universe spared us. Some say it was divine intervention, a strange wormhole forming just outside our solar system. An entire planet emerged from the anomaly. Scientists confirmed it as an ocean planet. We named this planet Delta Athene. Deep space scans revealed an abundance of zero-point energy crystals. It would seem our salvation had arrived from the void. Perhaps, for the first time in history, the human race united as one. United with a single purpose. A new world government was formed as the United Federation of Nations. We had no choice. Harvest the energy from this mysterious planet, or perish. Our best minds were gathered at the newly formed UFN Space Exploration Center. We had to construct a spaceship capable of atmospheric flight, capable of supporting science missions, harvesting energy, research and development on Delta Athene. An initial energy harvesting expedition to the planet confirmed the abundance of these zero-point energy crystals. An unexpected gift from the universe. We saw a new golden age of humanity just over the horizon. We should have known. Nothing is ever truly as it appears. Some unknown sentience protects this planet. silently observing us from the depths of the ocean. It tracked our every move, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. This planet is uninhabited, we thought. We thought wrong. We planned for dangers, but nothing so relentless and ruthless as these monsters. We thought our technology was superior. We thought our weapons could hold them back. Little did we know, a destructive force like none we have ever encountered before. Our energy harvesting platforms fell to the waves of Kraken, one by one. Still, there was hope. We quickly mobilized our greatest scientific minds, who discovered various defenses against the Kraken. And so, the Defense Task Force was born. We noticed a pattern in the Kraken attacks. At first, younger and weaker creatures would attack. Then, as we held off the first attacks, stronger monsters would follow. The waves of Kraken becoming stronger and stronger, until our platforms are destroyed. As commander of our new initiative, your mission is to defend our platforms. The fate of our planet rests in your capable hands. Good luck, Commander.
Quite the cinematic as you saw there. Now jumping into the meat of the game, we've got multiple different towers. We've got your traditional machine gun tower that we would expect. We've got a cannon. We've got a missile tower. Proton pulse tower. This is kind of like a short burst laser beam tower. Plasma beam tower. Now this is the tower that actually channels the beam to the enemy, and it grows stronger and stronger. A fire tower. As we would expect, it's got to have some flames. The space-time tower. Now this is the slow tower that you throw down to slow those baddies up. A Tesla tower. Exactly what you think. The Tesla towers that we know and love from other games. A toxic tower. Now this tower emits a cloud of poisonous gas around it. And then a sniper tower. The long-range tower that does the single shot pew-pew, and also has the additional ability to stun defenses, or stun enemies, pardon me, once you get them upgraded all the way up to level 3. Now, as we see, there is an upgrade and skill tree system. Everything in the game is based off of energy. It is the only currency available, it's the only currency you'll use, and the only currency you need through the entire game. So every map you do, the goal, of course, is to collect more energy. Now, as you go through and unlock your various research tiers, you see we can increase the damage of the tower, boost the damage of this tower by 10%, costs 300 energy, and as you see, there's 100 charges, so you can boost your towers exceptionally. Now, all of these boosts, once you get to Tier 3, do require a Tier 3 upgrade before you get the benefit of them. So once you get down the road, and lots and lots and lots of grinded hours into it, you're going to have some extremely strong towers at Tier 3. Now, moving right along to the missions. The missions are a little bit confusing at first. You see there's 5 different areas. The Utopian Basin, Kaiser Sea, Hela's Basin, Dahl's Strait, and then the Tharsis Rise. Now, when you open each individual zone and take a look at it, you'll see there's 4 individual sectors inside there. Now, with 100% the exception of what enemies that are coming, this is a little bit misleading, as these are not actually all different zones. They are different zones. However, everything that we do is going to be based off of a blueprint. Blueprints can be unlocked through energy, but of course, you buy the blueprints for energy, and then they cost more energy to build them. Now, although we do have all these different zones and each of the different mini territories inside a zone, the bottom line is it's only got 8 maps. I was really hoping to see more than this, and hopefully more blueprints are added in the future, as it does just make a bit of a really long grind to even get to the point where you could use, say, this endgame map. Now, I did want to play a little bit of the game to get a few of these towers unlocked, and I did so, and then I look down at the bottom of the screen and I see press F12 for cheats. So yeah, I cheated it up, got everything unlocked, and I'm able to give you all a nice, solid review. Now, taking a look at these blueprints, they are extremely varied. You start off with this one. This blueprint was free. This is the blueprint you get when you start the game, and it costs 0 energy to deploy. Now, in addition to spending energy to buy blueprints, you also have to use blueprints to deploy them. Say this Callisto blueprint here, it costs 1,000 energy to research. So if we research that, just to play a game and deploy it, it costs another 150. Now, personally, I have no problem with the research cost to find a new blueprint. However, having a deploy cost on top of it, mildly irritating. Now, when we look at the variance between the very first and the very last map, we'll pop into both of them and take a look at it here real quick. Now, this is a very basic map, of course. This is the very first one, and this is the one that comes with zero energy cost to play a game. And you see the amount of pathing we can do is very, very basic. Now, it does have that familiar line showing the mob path, which is pretty darn convenient. And say we blocked off this path, of course the mobs are going to come around to the other side. Now, let's go ahead and abort this mission and take a look at the top blueprint that is available there. So if we go back into that same Utopian Basin Sector 1 zone and take a look at the Alara blueprint, which is the most expensive, it actually costs 200 energy to deploy. So it's very expensive to deploy this blueprint, and you're not going to want to do it unless you're in a zone that has mobs that are difficult enough that you're going to get all that energy back. You could end up deploying this blueprint in a low level zone, and although you will make it a really, really long time with a solid build, you may not get as much energy back as you really want. However, let's hop in and take a look at this blueprint as well. Now, this one, of course, as we see, is substantially bigger, and this is really where I started to get those good feels, as there's lots and lots of pathing options. So say we wanted mobs to go, let's see, something, you know, say something like this. You know, we could path them through a maze here, then we can lead them up, path them through a maze here, up and around, path them through another maze here, and then another one here before they finally end up heading into the core in the center. So this particular blueprint is definitely got lots of opportunities. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to figure out enough about the game and enough about the enemies you're facing to maximize this blueprint. However, we will take a look at one that's a little bit more middle of the road here in just one moment. Now, I mentioned that although it has all these different zones, they're essentially the same. Now, they are, but they aren't. And if you actually click on each one, you're going to see that the enemies are available for that zone escalate the further you go into it, with the Tharsis Rise, of course, having the toughest enemies in the game available there. Now, of course, harder enemies means more of an energy reward and more rewarding to complete that. Now, every single map in the game is completely endless. You play as long as you can last, and every map will end with your core getting smashed in. Now, with that in mind, each individual map has a wave requirement that you must make it to unlock the next map. So if you see the very first map, you need to survive 18 waves to unlock it. You move on to the second, it goes up to 25. The third is 30. And the fourth is 35. And then if we look all the way at, say, Tharsis Rise and take a look at it, just to unlock the very first map, or just to unlock the second map, you're going to have to survive 160 waves. So as I mentioned, this is it's a grind game. It's a long one, and you could sink lots and lots of hours into it. Now, assuming they stay with the minimal amounts of maps, this could end up turning into a little bit more grind than what it's actually worth. As far as the gameplay goes, I absolutely 100% loved it. In fact, I was raving all night about it on Discord. Definitely looks like an awesome, awesome tower defense game. I just question the amount of grind it's going to take to get everything unlocked and to the point where you could do these tougher maps. So let's go ahead and take a peek at one of the... Let's just go to one of the mediocre maps. We'll go to this one. This is the third one over. This one only costs 100 energy to deploy, so it's not super expensive. And it's still pretty basic, but it does give you an example of the gameplay of the game. Now, once again, this game is an alpha. It doesn't launch until it's scheduled on Steam. It says July 11th, 2018. And I'll be excited to play it on July 11th. That's for certain. However, I probably won't play it a whole lot until then, as since cheats are being allowed, I am assuming that the game will be wiped and you'll be starting fresh on July 11th. So let's see, we want these beds to go over here. Let's make them go around there. And let's make them go around that way. We'll start off with some flamethrowers right up front here. Now, each of your towers, you can tell them what you want to do. You can set the priority. Now, this first tower, it's selected to attack the first mob, which I like. And this second tower, I'm going to change it so it's selected to attack the last mob. And that's going to keep this flamethrower pointed this way and this flamethrower pointed this way as mobs continue to pass, so I can maximize the amount of coverage I get with less time having the turret spin. So as we see, the energy is racking up here. There is no interest. So unlike Defense Grid, where it was better off to not build up your defenses right away, we're straight up not going to get the energy unless a mob dies, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you to kill him. So you can feel free to go ahead and get all of the map all mazed up and ready to go, as the cost to lay down the tower platforms is very inexpensive. Now, they're calling these the basement. I'm assuming there might be something changing with them in the future, as it does have an upgrade button for it. However, there's nothing currently in those research trees that would indicate you could do anything special at all with the one basement that's available to you. So let's try to take a look at all the towers. A machine gun tower, of course, is going to be exactly what we think it is. It is a machine gun. Let's slap a couple of those guys down. And then let's get some cannons down as well. Of course, the cannons are going to be a little bit longer range than the machine guns. Need a little bit more energy here. Now, as it is a traditional top-down tower defense game, of course we got that speed button. So let's go ahead and speed this match up and see if we can't get some energy saved up and hopefully at least get to the milestone that's required to complete the map. Now, it will tell you once you get to that stage, you know, you are at wave blah 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 blah. If you'd like, you can exit to the main menu. Basically what that is telling you is you have completed that map as far as the requirements to unlock the next one. However, you can keep pushing to collect additional energy. Now, after you build a map out, you're not really gonna not want to get the extra energy, so always, of course, move on. Let's get some of these Tesla towers in the mix. Let's throw a couple of these down. Now, the Tesla tower is arcing in between enemies. See if we can scroll in and get a little better view of it. Yeah, you can see it arcing around in between the different enemies there. I kind of like the Tesla towers. They got a coolness factor to them. No doubt about it. You know what? Let's start setting up for some missiles too. I'm going to throw some missiles back here, as it's something that's going to start hitting mobs right out of the gates, but it also has good enough range where it's going to give me core protection if anything starts pushing all the way through by the time or before I get the map built out. See, let's drop another one right there. Now these missiles, I'm going to tell both of these missiles to target first. The reason I'm telling them to target first is I want them to hit any enemies that make it past. So I want them hitting enemies at the core and changing the priority there. You see, they're actually hitting pretty darn hard. There's some solid missiles, that's for sure. Let's get a few more platforms set up. Now the graphics actually look really, really nice until the weather sets in. On the different stages where the weather falls, it definitely seems to degrade the graphics just a touch. Now it is showing I'm still running at 60 plus frames per second, so that's nice to see, but I also don't have a whole lot on the map, and I wonder how rough it would be once the map got a little bit more full. Let's throw a few more missiles in here. Yeah, let's get another Tesla as well. Let's just go ahead and let's load up Teslas here in this starter area. You know, I want to tell these to target the first as well. That way I'm going to have 4 missiles going off at enemies that might make it past and get to the core. We got 6 Tesla towers right there. Seems a really good spot for one of these space-time slow towers right in the middle. So far, so good. And there we go. Let's go ahead and throw a little slow in the mix and see if that helps us out. I don't think I'm quite ready to jack the speed up all the way, but let's go ahead and give it just a little whirl. Let's see, toxic. Let's get some of those gas clouds going. We'll put those right over here. And, of course, the mobs will have to pass through those twice, so that will be nice. And then these plasma beams. Let's get a couple of these going out here. I do want to mix it up a little bit with the towers, just to kind of show off a little bit of everything that they do. Let's go ahead and upgrade a couple of these machine guns here. Here we got both of those upgraded. You see the machine guns picked up a second little Gatling gun barrel there when they were upgraded. And then let's upgrade this poison as well. That's really cheap to upgrade, so let's do it. Now you see when you upgrade, it increases the range and the damage. It actually increases the damage significant amounts. So you're definitely going to want to upgrade. We see this regular toxic tower here is doing 0.1 damage per second. Now if you upgrade it, it's going to jump it up to 0.4. Pretty significant boost. Let's go ahead and get an upgrade on that bad boy. Now I was talking about, let's throw a machine gun down just for example. Actually, let's get a little last resort set up here. And we'll throw a couple of machine guns right up here. Now when we look at a regular machine gun, it's doing 1 damage per second. You upgrade it, it's going to jump up to 5.3 damage per second. You upgrade it again, it's going to jump up to 16.2 damage per second. Now of course when you upgrade it that third time, you can see the difference. Looks like, let's see if I can get a good camera angle on it there. Not too bad. It's got the second Gatling barrel, but then it gets the little assist at the bottom with the feed. Now, I've yet to see exactly how powerful those are once they get to that point. Mobs are making it in now. Let's go ahead and upgrade these as well, since these are, of course, they're the least expensive thing to upgrade, so I want to take advantage of that. And actually, let's get this area built out a little bit more. Now, what else did we want? We've got some plasma beams. Now, you see the plasma beams are just channeling it in. There's some sniper towers. Okay, now here it is. So, victory. The objective of this particular map was to make it to wave 35. We made it to wave 35, so we are finished. Now, you can exit to the main menu and call it good. However, if you look down here to the bottom left, we see this blue bar here is the amount of waves, the green bar is our energy, and we want to continue playing. So if we see the blue bar, our progress for the map, 35 of 35 waves, we're good there. However, the green bar, now it says surplus energy in this mission. Now we've extracted 161 energy, and remember we've spent 100 energy for that blueprint. So for doing this map, as it stands right now, we are going to gain 68 energy. Let's go ahead and continue to build it out here. Let's grab... Actually, let's get some more missiles. Am I going to survive it here? Looks like we're just about at the end, actually. Now, of course, if you came back to this same map with one of those bigger blueprints or in larger platforms, it's going to allow you to build a better defense that's going to last longer and is going to gain you more energy. However, remember, you're always going to have that deploy energy cost. So the energy generated was 19,000. We get 1% of that for our extractor, which means 199, and then it cost 100 to use that blueprint, so our net gain was 99 total energy, and that gets added to the pool. So anyway, that is a look at Defense Task Force. It's got so many good things about it. I really hope it doesn't end up too grindy, and I do hope that more blueprints get added to the collection, you know, to vary the journey and to vary out the grind a little bit more. So thank you for watching. Click that like button, please subscribe to the channel. Tower Defense Tuesday is a new series I just started last week, and I'm going to be taking a look at a different tower defense game every Tuesday right here on YouTube. So thank you once again, and I will see you next time. Take it easy.